The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene offers insight into the dynamics of power and how it can be gained, maintained, and utilized to maneuver through different situations life may throw at you. For the next couple of weeks, enjoy these dynamic illustrations and short stories that will spark your metamorphic fix. So let's begin.
Law number 4. Always say less than necessary. In the land of Aragonia, there was a man named Marcus. He was a talented craftsman, and he dreamed of one day becoming the greatest blacksmith in the kingdom. But there was one problem. No one knew who he was. Marcus had grown up in a small village on the outskirts of Aragonia. He had never been to the capital city, and he had no connections or contacts in the royal court. He knew that if he wanted to achieve his dream, he would have to find a way to get noticed. One day, Marcus came across a book that talked about the fourth law of power: always say less than necessary. The book explained that people who talk too much often reveal too much about themselves, and that it was important to keep your words to a minimum, especially in the presence of those who could potentially harm you. Marcus realized that this law could be the key to achieving his dream. He knew that if he could find a way to get noticed by the royal court, he could become the greatest blacksmith in the kingdom. But he also knew that he had to be careful. He couldn't reveal too much about himself or his intentions. So, Marcus set out to put the fourth law of power into practice. He began to attend royal events and gatherings, where he would mingle with the nobility and try to make connections. But instead of talking about himself and his accomplishments, he would listen to others and ask questions about their lives and interests. At first, the nobility didn't take much notice of Marcus. He seemed like just another commoner, and they didn't see anything special about him. But as time went on, they began to notice something different about Marcus. He was always present at important events, and he never seemed to say much. People began to wonder who he was and what he was up to. They started to make up stories about him, that he was a spy for a rival kingdom, or that he was secretly plotting to overthrow the king. But Marcus remained silent, never confirming or denying any of these rumors. One day, the Queen of Aragonia was hosting a grand ball at the royal palace. It was the biggest event of the year, and all of the nobility were in attendance. Marcus was there too, dressed in his finest clothes and carrying a small package with him. As the night wore on, the Queen approached Marcus and asked him who he was and why he was there. Marcus remained silent for a moment, and then he opened the package he was carrying. Inside was the most exquisite sword that anyone had ever seen. The blade was made of the finest steel, and the handle was encrusted with jewels. The Queen was stunned. She had never seen such a beautiful sword before, and she asked Marcus where he had gotten it. Marcus simply smiled and said, "I made it." From that moment on, Marcus became known as the greatest blacksmith in the kingdom. His name was on everyone's lips, and people came from all over Aragonia to commission him to make their swords and armor. And yet, Marcus never revealed more than he needed to. He remained quiet and reserved, always letting his work speak for itself. In the end, Marcus had achieved his dream, and he had done it by following the fourth law of power. He had said less than necessary, letting his actions speak louder than his words. And he had become a legend in the kingdom of Aragonia, his name spoken with reverence for generations to come. As it states in law number 4, always say less than necessary. This law advises people to be mindful of the words they use and avoid over-communicating, as it can lead to misunderstandings and reveal too much information. By being economical with words, one can create a sense of mystery and allure, and leave others wanting more. This law is a reminder of the power of restraint and the importance of being deliberate with communication in the pursuit of power.
If you're enjoying this video so far, please support us by hitting the subscribe button and liking the video. By doing this, you are helping us reach more people to share this amazing information with. Now that that's out of the way, let's get back to the video.
Law number 5. So much depends on reputation, guard it with your life. In the kingdom of the southern rainforest, there was a queen named Amethyst. She was next in line to the throne, and she knew that one day she would have to rule the kingdom. But Amethyst had a problem: she was too trusting. Amethyst believed that everyone was inherently good and that people would always do the right thing. She trusted her advisors implicitly, and she never questioned their motives or intentions. But as she would soon find out, this kind of blind trust can be dangerous. One day, Amethyst's father, the king of the southern rainforest, fell ill. It was a sudden illness, and no one knew what had caused it. Amethyst was beside herself with worry. She loved her father deeply, and she couldn't bear the thought of losing him. As the days went on, the king's condition worsened. Amethyst's advisors began to whisper amongst themselves, and Amethyst could sense that something was not right. She decided to take matters into her own hands and investigate. Amethyst began secretly observing her advisors, watching their movements and listening in on their conversations. It wasn't long before she discovered that one of her advisors, a man named Lord Nathaniel, was plotting against her. Lord Nathaniel was a powerful man in Eldred, with a large following of loyalists. He had been scheming to take the throne for years and saw the king's illness as the perfect opportunity to strike. Amethyst knew that she had to act quickly if she was going to stop Lord Nathaniel. That's when she remembered the fifth law of power: so much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Amethyst knew that she needed to protect her reputation if she was going to stop Lord Nathaniel's plot. She knew that if she made a false move or revealed her suspicions too soon, she could lose everything. So, Amethyst began to play a dangerous game. She pretended to trust Lord Nathaniel, all the while gathering evidence of his treachery. She would feign agreement with Nathaniel's plans, but then secretly work to undermine them. As the king's condition worsened, Lord Nathaniel grew bolder. He began to make public speeches, declaring that he would be the one to take the throne when the king died. Amethyst knew that she had to act fast. If Nathaniel's plan succeeded, there would be no going back. Unfortunately, the day arrived when the king passed away. Amethyst was devastated, but she knew that she had to act quickly if she was going to protect her kingdom. She summoned Lord Nathaniel to her chambers and presented him with the evidence of his treachery. At first, Nathaniel denied everything, but Amethyst was firm. She told Nathaniel that she knew everything and that he would be brought to justice. Nathaniel, realizing that the game was up, confessed everything. He revealed that he had been planning to kill Amethyst and take the throne for himself. Thanks to Amethyst's careful planning and reputation management, Lord Nathaniel was brought to justice. Amethyst took the throne as the rightful heir, and she ruled the southern rainforest kingdom with an iron fist. She had learned the hard way that blind trust could be dangerous, and that reputation was everything. In the end, Amethyst became known as one of the greatest rulers in the southern rainforest history. Her name was spoken with reverence for centuries to come, and she was remembered as the queen who had guarded her reputation with her life. So let's do a recap on law number 5 from the 48 Laws of Power, which states, "So much depends on reputation, guard it with your life." This law advises people to be vigilant about their reputation, as it can make or break them in the game of power. By cultivating a strong reputation, one can gain the respect and admiration of others, and leverage this to their advantage. Conversely, a damaged reputation can be difficult to repair and can hinder one's ability to achieve their goals. This law is a reminder of the importance of integrity and the need to protect one's reputation at all costs in the pursuit of power. Law number 6. Court attention at all costs. In the bustling city of New York, there was a young woman named Ariana. She had just graduated from college with a degree in marketing, and she was eager to start her career. Ariana was a hard worker, and she quickly landed a job at a prestigious advertising firm. She was thrilled to be working with some of the top names in the industry, and she was determined to make a name for herself. But as Ariana soon discovered, the world of advertising was cutthroat. Everyone was competing for the same clients and the same projects, and it was a constant battle to stay on top. That's when she remembered the 6th law of power: court attention at all costs. Ariana knew that if she was going to succeed in the world of advertising, she had to stand out from the crowd. Ariana decided to take a bold approach to her work. She started coming up with attention-grabbing ideas for her clients, things that no one else in the industry was doing. She would stay up all night brainstorming and then pitch her ideas to her boss the next day. At first, her colleagues were skeptical. They thought her ideas were too risky, too out there. But Ariana was persistent. She would make elaborate presentations, complete with mock-ups and prototypes, to convince her colleagues that her ideas were worth pursuing. Slowly but surely, Ariana's colleagues began to take notice. Her ideas were generating buzz, and her clients were thrilled with the results. Ariana was quickly becoming one of the most sought-after marketers in the city. But Ariana didn't stop there. She knew that to truly court attention, she had to do something that would make her stand out even more. So she decided to take a risk and launch her own marketing campaign. Ariana's campaign was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. She rented out billboards and subway stations, plastering them with bold, attention-grabbing ads for her clients. She launched a social media campaign that quickly went viral, and soon everyone in the city was talking about her. Her campaign was a huge success, and Ariana was quickly becoming a household name. But with all the attention came a new set of challenges. Her competitors began to take notice, and they started to copy her ideas. But Ariana was one step ahead. She continued to push the envelope, coming up with new, even more, outrageous ideas to keep her clients happy. And she continued to court attention, always looking for new ways to make herself stand out. In the end, Ariana's bold approach paid off. She became one of the most successful marketers in the city, and her name became synonymous with innovation and creativity. She had learned that in the cutthroat world of advertising, you had to be willing to take risks and court attention at all costs. And she had done just that, becoming a true power player in her industry. As law number 6 states, court attention at all costs. This law advises people to be bold and stand out from the crowd, as attention is a valuable currency in the pursuit of power. By drawing attention to oneself, one can gain influence and create a sense of importance, making it easier to achieve their goals. This law is a reminder of the power of charisma and the importance of being memorable in the pursuit of power. However, it also warns of the dangers of overstepping boundaries and the need to balance attention-seeking with subtlety and tact.
For weekly freebies and contest giveaways, make sure you follow the link in the description to Metamorphic Health Weekly, where we send out a wide range of health tips, free recipes, fitness tips, and contest giveaways. Be sure not to miss out. Click the link below for Metamorphic Health Weekly. We hope you enjoyed today's video and would gladly appreciate it if you gave us a like and hit that subscribe button to help support the channel.
This concludes this week's episode of the 48 Laws of Power. Which law did you resonate with the most? Or is there a law you disagree with? Let us know in the comments below. And remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications for next week's episode. Until then, embrace your metamorphic tenets to transform.